Okay, so this sheet is more of a review because it gives you an overview of quadratics, the graphs, the roots, the solutions, factors, and quadratics. So if you notice the diagonal, that's how I want the answers. So all your graphs should look like this, upward, and should have the solutions written down. All your roots should be written just two numbers, the 0, just like the 0 and the 5. Solutions should be written with x equals. So all of these, this one, this one, this one, this one should be x equals. Your answers are going to be x equals. All your factors are going to have parentheses, just like when we found factors before. So factors should look like this. And all of your quadratics should be written in this form, x squared plus 5x plus 4. So I'm going to do a few of these, and then you do the rest of them. You're just kind of filling in blanks. So for the first one, graph, you have a root of -2, and you also have a root of +4 right here. And I need y'all to know something, that roots and solutions are the same. Okay, roots, solutions, zeros, x-intercepts, they all mean the same thing. So when I say that my root is -2, I'm also saying that the solution is x equals -2. And when I say that my root is 4, I'm also saying that the solution of the quadratic is at x equals +4. Okay, so that means you can fill in all the graphs, all the solutions, all the roots. For this one, I would say that you have a root at 0, so make sure you place a dot at 0, and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you just kind of sketch it. That's how you're going to do all of the graphs. Now here's the tricky part. To go from solutions to factors, you will change the sign. Okay, so make sure that you're writing this down on your papers. You're changing the signs, and I'm going to show you why you're changing the signs. If the solution is x equals -2, x equals -2, and I want to make it look like a factor, then all I need to do is move the -2 back over here with the x. So in order to move it, you change this to a +2, so that would be x plus 2. And what's left over here is a 0. So the factor is x plus 2. So one of the factors you would write here is x plus 2. So what do you think the other factor is going to be if the number is positive when you move it over? It's going to be x minus 4. You just change the sign. So let's look at how that works. If you have x equals +4, and I want it to look like this, then I have to move the 4 to the other side and change the sign. So this is positive, it becomes a minus, and that's going to be x minus 4, and you're left with 0. So your other factor is x minus 4. So we're going to write, we wrote it there. So again, solutions and factors have different signs. You just move it over, change the sign. So if I'm going from a factor to a solution, then you would change the sign. If this is x minus 4, then your solution should be a +4. And if this is x plus 5, then your solution should be x equals -5. So how does that work? It's like we're going backwards now. So if you have the factor that's x plus 4, and you want it to look like this, x equals something, then you have to move it. X plus 4 equals 0. Move this over here. It becomes a -4. So now you have x equals -4. So the solution is -4. And the same thing. Oh, that was a x minus 4. So let's change it. This was a minus 4. So when you move it, it becomes a plus 4. So you end up with a positive 4. And that's how you do the other one, the x plus 5. You move it over, change the sign, becomes x minus 5. How do I go from factors to quadratic? You would do the box method. So you have x plus 2, x minus 4, x plus 2, x minus 4. And you have the whole bottom of the worksheet to show your work. You draw the box. And on the sides you put x plus 2 and x minus 4. And you start multiplying inside. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. 2 times x is a positive 2x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And remember the diagonals, you combine them. So when you add those two, that gives you a negative 2x. So the first part is x squared, the last part is negative 8, and this is your quadratic. So you would show your work using the box, and then write down the quadratic equation, x squared minus 2x minus 8 at the end. And it looks just like this one. They're all going to look the same. So if I want to work backwards, if they give me the quadratic, how do I go from here all the way to here? You would, same thing, box method. If you're going from a quadratic and finding the factors, you do the box method backwards. So I have x squared plus 5x plus 4. And again, this is just a review because we've done this before. So if you have x squared plus 5x plus 4, and you want to work backwards and get the factors, then you do the box again. But now you're looking for the outside stuff. So fill in the inside, that's x squared and positive 4. And these diagonals should add up to positive 5. So I need factors of 4. That would be 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. Which one of these two gives you a sum or a difference of 5? That would be the 1 and the 4. So you would put 1x and 4x. And they both have to be positive, right? Because 4x plus 1x gives you 5x. And then you fill in the outside. So this would have to be x times x, x squared. This would have to be a positive 1 because x times 1 is 1x. And this would have to be a positive 4 because x times 4 is 4x. So my factors are x plus 1 and x plus 4. So I would put x plus 1 and x plus 4, and then you can finish the rest of the table front and back. So again, roots and solutions are the same, so these two columns should be the same numbers. Factors and solutions, you change the sign. So going from here, from this column to this column, you change the sign. And if you're going backwards, the same thing. If you're going from factors to solutions, change the sign. But all of these should have x equals. Okay. And then if you're going from factors to quadratics, do the box method. Same thing if you're going from a quadratic to factors, do the box method backwards.